So is anyone watching anyone see the Winter Olympics? Yeah. I just, if you didn't see what you didn't see it, well, I'll explain what happened in a humorous fashion. I'll give you a piece of advice, audience member. Some of these questions are purely rhetorical. I really enjoyed the opening ceremony. I'll explain what happens. There's like a big stadium, and they invite all the different countries to kind of parade through the stadium. And I think the first country that paraded through the stadium, it was a Scandinavian country, someone like Norway, who's really good at winter sports. So the commentator said, "Please welcome the Norwegians," and they all came out. They were all giving it a big wave and a big grin and all that. Yeah, like you would. And then a little later on, I think they introduced the British, and we're not as good at winter sports, but we still kind of putting on a brave face, kind of. All right, yeah, we're probably not going to win much, but whatever. And then a little later on, the commentator said a beautiful thing. He said, "And now, please welcome to the Vancouver Winter Olympics, making their very first appearance, Ghana." I'll be honest with you, it was just one bloke who looked as if he'd been tricked into going. Then I was watching the luge, and I thought this can't get any more fucking ridiculous. And the commentator said, "Next up, please welcome Manuel Fister." That is a name that cuts you out for a career in either extreme sports or extreme pornography. I mean, I guess if my surname was Fister and my parents had christened me Manuel, I'd be pretty keen to repeatedly throw myself down a mountain on a fucking tea tray. It's been a weird time as well, because, the very first day of the Winter Olympics, you had a guy, a luge guy actually, he got killed doing like the practice run. Then you also had a woman, but I think it was a few days later, in SeaWorld in Florida, she was killed by a killer whale. People couldn't really understand it. I thought, I'm not a marine biologist, but it's a killer whale. I mean, you could hardly say it was acting out of character. That's what it does. It fucking kills things. Also, I don't really know much about killer whales, but I think they live in the sea, which is really big. And what you've done is you've taken it out of a really big place, the sea, and you've put it in a paddling pool. I imagine if I went to Africa, to the savannah, and captured myself a lion, and then just locked it in my shed, if I opened the door, it would be slightly agitated. I thought this wasn't out of keeping for a killer whale to kill somebody, and then they said, "Oh, actually, this killer whale has already killed twice before." First time, possibly an accident. The second time, what happened was a homeless guy accidentally fell into the pool trying to break into SeaWorld at night. I'm not sure exactly why. And the killer whale killed him, obviously, and then stripped him naked, and then draped him over its own back. So when the keepers came in the next morning, the killer whale was there with a dead, naked, homeless guy on his back. Now, if I was involved in the managerial running of SeaWorld, at this point, I think I'd start to speculate. I think this one's getting slightly cocky. I mean, it clearly hasn't got a fucking alibi for this. SeaWorld was shut. They were showing after the aftermath, they were showing the SeaWorld from above. And what they'd done was they'd let all the normal killer whales, they'd left them in the main pool, and then they'd put this bad killer whale in an even smaller pool. I can't see that causing any problem. It's like the SeaWorld equivalent of the naughty step. Just leave it over there, it'll calm down in about 20 minutes.